So, hi. I'm going to do a layout for a year for someone in the tarot group. I have done one already with someone that I met, but also there was another girl who um, what do you say, like, Lotta ut, well, yeah, on that, let's say. Let's hope it's a good one then. So, I will also photograph this afterwards. So, for her, since I don't use a video here, I should probably start doing that sometime again because it's just complicated and I'm a little bit lazy though. So for her now, her year, and I will just read them upright cards, although I shuffle them in various ways. After I've done this, I may ramble a bit, but first I will do this so I get it done, right? Oh, so let's see now. Oop! Wow, I dropped one. I wonder if this was at the bottom or this is the star card. Actually, I will just leave this on the side because I don't know. Didn't see where it where it came from. So number 17, the star. This is also the outward in this deck, the Aura Soma deck. Actually, I and this girl we went to the same education where I bought this deck when she was there. Actually, I recall now. I didn't think about it when I chose this deck though. But anyways, there is an outward and a return card in each of the major arcanas, the 22 major arcanas. So this is the outward, which means that this is something still to be learned. This is something this person still still learning, have not integrated fully. Maybe sometimes it feels very dark and it's difficult to hope or see the most bright future or opportunities and so on. But this is a good card that jumped out though. so then now I will use the rest and do the yearly layout. At the center here is the moon, and I think that is why also the card of the star came out. This is the number 18. This is still outward also. This is about evolution and learning, sometimes through pain, hardships. I know for a fact that there is some specific thing that have happened recently that was like, or is painful also. And in this card, it's a little bit similar to the star card, although that includes much more hope than the moon card, because the moon is also about illusions and not seeing that hope clearly, I think, but you're constantly guided by light on your path forward. But it's also not a pain-free path. And there is also, it seems like two dogs in this image, but you are moving towards your goals and towards your realization, you can say. But at the same time, there is a sort of a threshold here that you need to pass through. And there are choices maybe you're reluctant to make because you adjust more than it's healthy for you. In this deck, the moon card have a black and a white dog, it seems like, but it usually is or in the traditional, it is a wolf and a dog. And this talks very much about listening to your inner truth, to yourself, rather than adjust, rather than be obedient as the dog. So to free yourself. And she also holds a pearl, almost like a full moon in her hand. So I think you have a lot of I know that, but a lot of intuition here that still will always guide you forward, but it's like a bit winding road. This is not a straightforward path for you, or it is, but you get a little bit off track sometimes, off track from listening to yourself. That is. Um, yeah. But at the same time, this light or this guidance you have is so strong, so you can't ignore it. You always get back on track. You always, and you are aware of it very much. It's like, in this case, I feel that you choose to ignore it sometimes because you put others first or something like that. Although you know that it may hurt you or that you may push yourself too hard. There is something here that you don't see clearly. Anyways, at the center, this is. Oh, hi, Liz. I don't know how. Sometimes I think it's said there. There are no good or bad witches. I don't think. Happy New Year to you too. Okay, I will continue with this yearly thing. So that is the central. This is about your year now, also to see through illusions and listen to your own inner voice. And hopefully, you come in here, even if it's not personally for you. This maybe some of the messages is still for you. So in January, we have Ace of Swords, which is fabulous. This is clarity. So something things become very clear now. Maybe it's also, since I know a few things for this person, I think could be just the fact that you have to rest a little bit more in some cases. Um, this is also very much connection with the fairy or spiritual realm. You bumped into your ex, okay. But now the Mercury retrograde is, oh, but then it's over now, so that's usually the thing then, right? Or sometimes. Okay, but Ace of is called Well Cool, and this is about maybe also new idea, but also about clarity and intuition that is very strong. And I think that when you have to pause for a bit, in some sense, as I know, then you get so much more in touch with your heart space and your light and all the various levels of consciousness, you could say, that you do have, but sometimes you are not still enough to comprehend them, I feel. Yeah. It's also a new start, obviously, for many people in January. So this is not for you, Liz, but you can maybe pick up something from this also. So I will just keep focusing on the person that is for. Yeah, and when you are a little bit more still, then this energy, yeah, it becomes very, very. Your intuition is so strong, and when you pause a little bit, then it's super sharp and clear. So, and it will become much more clear this month in January. Then we have, and you're very smart also, by the way. But anyways, in February, we have Four of Swords, which here it says Sanat and Venus Kumara. I don't know who they are, but in this image, it's like very much about balance. And in traditional tarot, this is very much about also really taking a break, really pause and let yourself relax, even in your thoughts. I'm sure you have touched on to this beautiful space in yourself. Um, and you have so much good energy to share without effort when you are in this space. I think this is also connected maybe to yoga. They look like, to me, somehow like yogis, these two people that are very in balance. So I think this also represents the balance within the female and male aspects of yourself in February. And also there is a bright pink lotus behind their heads, and it's like they are protectors of the earth. The earth starts shining. Actually, it seems one have a sword at the side. Maybe this is like uh, what is it called now? This doesn't look like those. Uh, yeah, you know what I mean. I think we both actually have swords. Those who have a certain religion where they can carry that. Mm. Anyways, so in touch with the whole universe, and it's very, very good for you, even more so than now. In February, you burn yourself out if you push yourself too hard. And I think you do not know exactly when you do because you're quite used to being very active. So, okay. Hi, Sademan Magic. Happy New Year's to you also. How are you doing? I will do a. Oh, I need to take out my earrings. They start to itch when I. ah. Um, well, what was I going to say? Yeah, I will do a year reading for someone first, and then I will stay and chat a bit more. So, how are you been? How have you been? I mean, God, how I talk. Oh, it starts itching in my ear so much. Wow. I have actually earrings that have tarot cards on them. This one have the wheel or the fortune. It's like a hand with an eye in them. Mm. Anyways, yeah. So let me know. I will read that too. Although I am focusing on the year layout now. Um, yeah, I really want to hear how you are doing with everything that have been going on. I haven't seen you here since the thing started in, or started, you can't say started, but when they became very bad in Israel and so on, also. So I've been thinking about you though. Okay, moving on. So that was February. This is also much about thoughts to calm down, to get clarity. You get much more clarity and power, I would say, when you calm down. You've been good. Work is busy. Oh, what are you busy with now again? Sorry about my memory. When you mention it, I recall, but meanwhile, I just forget. Yeah, I feel very good. Yeah, super duper. So I've been busy also. Okay. Then we have March, and here it's very interesting. This great. I mean, in this deck there are fascinating images, but these are like very high evolved beings. I see that you have to work through certain things to see clearly, but here in the Five of Swords we have Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin. Uh, he's riding a bull, white bull, and carrying a peach and whatever, and she's like sitting on the side there, shining brightly. Also, you have this hat on with yin yang symbol on it, and I don't know. It feels like celebration. Usually, this is not that. Five of Swords is about difficult passages of swords or difficult situations. And I see this winding path again. So I think it's not clear, but I think also you have left many of the difficulties behind. I see those five swords at the distance that you have like been able to you know how to at least to let go of those and though those swords also represents thoughts. So yeah, but also persons or whatever it is that doesn't feel good or doesn't nourish you. Yeah, you can rise above all that. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah, but I will keep checking in with you, Sadie and Magic, and after I've done this, as I said, then I can chat a little bit more. But okay. So this is very fascinating cards, and it's like you for this person this reading is for, there will come a new awakening. It's like you take on the things that you truly know even more now, even more this year, very much more this year. I would say it's like you are a teacher and you have so much insights, as I well know of as well, but also you are very uh, flexible or and also I have to take off this. I have like a warm halsduk. What's that called? Like that's the thing around my neck. I was out. This it's minus 31 degrees here Celsius, so it was cold. Anyway, yeah, she's that. She's a Bodhisattva. Yeah, she wanted to come to. I mean, I think this also the previous ones, Four of Swords here. in February, Sanat and Venus Kumara. I don't know who they are, but they also seems as bodhisattvas, like taking care of the earth keepers, like shining their insights and lights. And what I was going to say about this woman this is for, she's caring and have this kind of enlightenment that is not dogmatic, that is very um, sound. Um, it's like, yeah, it's practical, but it's also, how can I say? Some people, myself included, sometimes can get very like stuck in ideas, and she's like very very loving. But I think somehow or you from for this for whom this is for is you. This is so much about the mental. All these three cards, January, February, March, is about swords, which is about the mental. And I think you will be so much clear, but you also very much need to pull back from certain situations that make you a little bit confused or so. And then we have April, my birthday. Oh, then we have the Hierophant. And this is return. It's like you more step into this teacher position. You can, and that is what I think this person is very very good at. This is also about balance, the female and male, and also there are like opening like doors, like initiations, you could say, maybe natural initiations. Like it's like you ascend in many many ways, and you are able to teach in a way where you can use what have been taught before, like traditional things and so on, but you aren't stuck in those forms or so on, and that's very beautiful. Yeah, you will not be able to avoid to teach what you know because this is so much part of you, and I think you haven't embraced that fully, or you have felt a little bit confused about how and what and so on. But I think in April that will change. You will take on that mantle. Is that I don't know the word for it, but that role or what you say. People want to have your what you know, you know. So let's see. You cannot interrupt though. You can get excited. Good, you get excited. Been getting more into Mahayana Buddhist teachings lately, right? Interesting. Yeah, I'm very much a Buddhist in my heart and soul. I've worked with Kuan Yin many, many years. I love her. And Zen Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism is my favorite things, I think, so far. Anyways, about the Buddhism, I mean, then I have a lot of other things, as you do too. I watched The Illusionist, by the way, the other day here on yeah, anyway, have you seen that one? I thought about you then. Okay, I will move on now. January, February, March, April, and May. And there we have the Hanged Man, which is also something you have integrated. Like you can wait and you can see things from various perspectives, and also kind of enjoy that. This is not the usual hangman cards. This is someone that is like in a circus, you know, on those lines swinging, and still can get get like it seems like they're going to fall, you know, but they're just jumping around and catching some swings, you know, and that. And so it's like you have realized that sometimes to not do something will, and you will realize it even more this year, that sometimes you can, I mean, I think like this, you realize that you can sometimes make things happen even more brilliantly or effortlessly, of course, but also efficiently if you don't do things. If you just follow the flow and don't interrupt that, or so on, just shining your light is enough, just being in your presence. That is maybe also the best teaching we can do sometimes. Maybe you agree, Sadiman Magic, because of the whole Buddhist thing. Yeah. But yeah, so I think there will be a lot of thoughts in the beginning of the year, the first months, but then you will step into much more understanding of your own power here. April, May, like in a very calm and self confident way. Yeah. And then we have June. Here we have 10 of Swords. So I don't know what this pain is about, but this can be insights. All this, I think these certain pains that we go through. And in this case, I think they're very much there to open up your chakras, open up your light, your availability to your to your light, to your purpose, if you say. um but I think this could be a tough month in June somehow. 10 of Swords maybe in this case, since I know you a little bit. The one with Edward, yeah. Edward Norton, that one. Yeah, I saw that the other day and was thinking about you. Yeah, yeah, loved it. Yeah, anyway, this is number 55 also in this deck. But yeah, it's like you have to, I don't know if I think maybe this relates also to your kids probably, or other people's pains and so on, that you have you kind of suffer also when it comes to others close to you, if they suffer and so on. It's like this, because this is the Christ image here also, like on the cross kind of thing, although you don't see the cross in the image. But um uh the crown of thorns here, and so I think that this also represents you taking on that, um or wanting almost to take on the pain of others or so on. And that is also connected, I think, to this moon card at the center. um mm, where you have to maybe stop doing that if it hurts yourself. But this is also a new start. And there is something in June there that I don't see clearly what that could be about. And I don't read them psychically. I just read the cards, as you know. But yeah, so July. Oh, here's death. Wow. But this is a return card of death. And that means also that you have recognized that death is just a passage, that we hide, like we are still present, and then we come forth and get born, and then we hide, and then you can see this from a different perspective, and you're kind of acquainted with death quite much. You don't fear this, and this is not like a death in the sense of someone dying, but it's a transformation in the outer sense, in a way I'm not sure what this is about. It's like about liberating yourself, I feel, because this is a woman rising above these two people. One is coming forth and one is hiding away, like, and then this woman on a horse, like rising up above them. And I feel this is you, and also there is this dove and stuff. And I feel this also connects to the Jung card with the 10 of Swords. It's like you're very done with something you maybe have to give up. It could be thought patterns. It could be, yeah, patterns at least in some way or another. Letting some people not have access to you. Also, it could be also because you had 5 of Swords here before. You have learned how to, but still it's difficult in some cases. Yeah, it could be a little bit tough there over the summer, but it leads to great good changes and new, like, adventures, you could say. um yeah, I have to look into that again. It's like, as we all do, it's like you move a little bit back and forth, and there, as I see it in June, you kind of get back to some challenge or something that you have already actually conquered or succeeded. But when you meet it again, you will thoroughly really let go of it. You will see it clearly and let go, because it will be so sort of in your face in a different way. So yeah. August. Here we have King of Cups, a very loving, artistic man, and it's a very happy, blissful situation. And yeah, this autumn it will be very peaceful and calm and everything. And this is related also, I think, to the changes that came before here. Yeah, you will meet a lot of love. And a mature kind of love where people take responsibility for how they act and what they say, and is considerate about you. Yeah. September. Oh, what is this then? Five of Pentacles. Here is someone walking out in the not cold, but rain or something. It's very windy and carrying something quite heavy. It's like, and something in what a pot here is not like blooming. It seems like it's a little bit of a struggle here. And I think this very much is about, it could be related to money, but I think rather it's related to relationships or so. I mean, in some case, maybe if you take a stand, if you choose a certain path or let go of something, some people also will be left behind, and you will feel that disconnect, and you will maybe miss that, or feel like that you would still want to be part or included, or something, but you have chosen something else. And sometimes also it could relate to you taking on very much without asking for help, because it's there if you need it and if you ask for it. But you don't want to impose on others. Like you try as best as you can first with your own strength. And you are very strong, but you do not have to go it all alone. Like, and then we have October. Here we have Two of Swords. There is a choice to be made. Here is also this, again, Joel, cool. I have to read about these. I should know what they are. Hilarion also here. This is two people actually that for sure in this image sees eye to eye. But this is also about some sort of choice. What could it be? I don't know. But it feels like, I think it's related to this Five of Pentacles, because it seems like when you make this choice, if it's a choice to go your own way, although you understand someone else or have worked with someone else or what it is, you still feel some sadness to let go at the same time as you would feel sad if you would stay, because although very similar and so on, or similar aspirations and so, you still feel a little bit stuck, or you can't fulfill your visions fully if you continue with this person. Is what I think it is. But it could be any kind of choice, really. You should listen to your heart. Where was I now? August, September, October, November. Here we have Page of Cups. This could also relate to children sometimes, that they may have a choice to be made in some instance. Someone that is also very open and sensitive, artistic, maybe a dreamer kind of person. So in this case, it could be you that also feel a little bit confused about what choice to be made, and that is connected to the Two of Swords. But I rather think that this would be related to one of your kids or something, that may be in a situation where they have to choose. It could be anything, like, yeah, it could be anything, but that you a little bit worry or keep your focus on how this could be resolved in a good way because they feel a little bit stuck on how to go forward or what to choose. Yeah. Yeah, I would assume. Otherwise, it could also actually be kind of a baby or something coming into. Oh, you were talking about something about that, by the way. This person was. So maybe that is what's coming here. Some baby dog or something. Yeah, I don't know. So because pages could be children or babies also. Yeah, and pages are the start because it's the first of the court cards. Yeah, okay, and then December, the last card in this layout. Temperance, and this is what you need to learn, and this is what I started out with. Actually, this is about balancing the sun and moon force in yourself, and you know how to, actually, very much so, but it's just to do it that sometimes is hard. And there is a swan here that is waiting for someone also. There is this the wounded healer I see standing, Chiron is, yeah, standing a bit further away here in the shadows almost. I think very much all these cards, or some of the cards, talk about you putting yourself first and your own balance first, because this person also in this card have these angelic, I mean, beautiful angelic wings, like orange, I mean, goldish, you could say, and she spreads this light all the time just by being. So I feel I feel that that is the central thing for you, to let yourself focus on yourself being in balance, and putting yourself first, and at the beginning of the year very much to get into deeper relaxation or meditation, and give yourself total relaxation, kind of, especially in uh, February, yeah, but also in March. Be clear about being who you are hanging out with. Just don't allow those who pull your energy down, like, around you, because you are like evolved. I don't know. It's like it's kind of hard to use these expressions because it sounds like you look down upon others, but you have come a far way, maybe even before you came to this earth now, but also during this lifetime, and therefore you actually need to let go when people aren't on that level, when it comes to fairness or what it is. Then you should rise above it. It could feel like as if you're cocky, but I mean, that's a good thing though sometimes. Yeah. So, and it's also very much revolve around thoughts, very much so. And this Five of Pentacles could be also related to finances, and maybe that is also why you hesitate in some choices. It wasn't very prominent in like the whole layout. It's just that one that is about pentacles, but still you like to focus on the intuitive and the spiritual, but and also thoughts, but I mean, we need to live also, and have something to live by, like, economically as well. But yeah, at the beginning of the year, very much take it easy. And the summer, as I talked about the summer, right before the summer, it will be very good. I mean, you will feel very strong and very wise, and understand what to choose in certain situations, know when to, like, fall back and when to be active and so on. And that balance is really important for you. But in the summertime, there will be something that pushes you actually to make outer changes that is very much needed, and that will lead to very positive results. Yeah, but that will kind of be the overall thing is about that, the balance, and to focus on you first, and to not let yourself be trapped by ideas of, as this moon card at the center, that it would be a good thing kind of to sacrifice yourself for others, whatever reasons you have for it, let go. And I think you will in the summertime at least, maybe a bit before then, but then more so later, that you will really, really go into those, if you call them core beliefs, or something that you hold on to that make it as if it would be a good thing. And I think you will see through that and therefore be able to let go and not feel responsible for others much. And I think this is just a pattern, just nothing you really do think of much. I think you just do it because it's like in your backbone. It's like you have been taught that all the time. I mean, as we traditional or culturally can be. So, and that's where you don't see clearly, and that can sometimes make you drained, and it can even burn you out. But also it can make you not lose hope, but make you a little bit as if you don't see how it is possible to resolve certain things and so on. But you will. The star card jumped out also at the beginning first, and you will be much more hopeful, becoming much more hopeful this year. Maybe in June you won't feel like that very much, not as much at least. But that's just a news. It's about a new start, all of it. So yeah, and we need to meet ourselves clearly and also see others more clearly before we can make certain changes, and that can be painful, but it's worth it. So yeah. Yeah, and in the last card in December here, I feel like this wounded healer that is at the back here, I feel that is also related to, you don't have to, I think you have been a healer all the time, but also the wounded healer is someone that have healed themselves and then heal, like as you call it. But I think sometimes you are still a little bit going, yeah, as I said, a little bit too far maybe, so that you hurt yourself in the process. But you should let yourself feel happy and balanced and everything good that you want to, and from that space give. You should be first. Yeah. I think that was that for the cards. Yeah, I should photo. I will put them aside now. No, now I can chat if someone is here. Yeah, someone is here. It's you, Sademan, right? Magic. So I will put these aside and lay them out later to photograph them for her in the right order. And I have other cards here if there are some questions. So first I will have the star also. Yeah. So meanwhile, yes, you're present. Awesome. So let me know now then. I was just see if I put this in the right order. Yeah. So Mahayana Buddhism. Tell me more. How did that happen? Have you been interested before, or did you just? Oh, and love. How does it go with all that? By the way, I just recall my previous readings. I'll put this aside. Meanwhile. With everything. So now these are, I put these away and we'll photograph them for her later. Oh, I need to drink some water. Wow. It's a little bit difficult to write a lot of stuff. It would be easier to just talk, I know, but easier for me though. So, maybe that was a good answer though for the whole Buddhism. Yes, I am present. Mahayana, I don't know much about that. I wonder if I do. It's like the most broad or common Buddhism, isn't it? I think the most widespread one, if I recall right. And I think why I was into Zen was like, yeah, Guan Yin, but or maybe she isn't into Zen, but I was also taught, as you have heard many times, so in Zen and so on. And Zen is like, I love the koans and the sort of mystery and just the presence, just the beingness, and not going into all this drama in our minds. It was fantastic to just sit and ignore whatever showed itself. But after a while, I got bored, so I started uh, diving into those images again. Yeah, and yeah, and also Tibetan Buddhism, since that's very much a shamanic path. What was it I learned the other day? It was something about that. Yeah, the first Dalai Lama was appointed by a Mongol shaman, actually. I mean, that Dalai means like ocean, and uh, an ocean full of wisdom, kind of. That was interesting. That came from that. But then again, didn't we all? I mean, we, I say. Uh, but I mean, yeah, it's quite clear in many religious paths, whatever you call them, that they, in my mind, practice very much shaman teachings, yeah, or magic. Well, yeah, it's most widespread in China. Oh, that's how I got introduced to this branch of Buddhism. I've been studying Chinese language again lately, and that is kind of how I got into it. Interesting. Wow. Wow. I mean, what else language do you know? That sounds difficult to me, but interesting, very much so. There is so much that come from there. And what about it is it that you're drawn to, especially? I mean, is it because you just got in touch with that, or is it some sort of like specific thing that is not as other Buddhists things that make you drawn to that? If you understand the question. The simplicity, yeah, that's what I also, that is the pause. Oh, wow, I love it. And that's what Zen was very much to me, or all the Buddhist teachings actually, in different ways. They are quite calming. Yeah. So, in what way do you practice that then? Yeah, yeah, I know about that. Mm. That used to be, I think, I have a quite a, not huge, but a large statue of Kuan Yin here, right beside me, and she's turned against my brother's son on an image here, but she protects children and so. But on the top of her head is like, what is his name called? Maha? No, not Maha, but something I've forgotten now. But there is like this Buddha of the Pure Land, yeah, on the top of her head, a little tiny sitting there, like, and that's like her connection to that consciousness at the same time as wanting to be here helping, hmm I basically just sit and chant. Yeah, Amitabha, that is the name. I forgot. That's right? And meditate. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So, I mean, on my path, I feel, which is kind of provoking to some people, but I feel like my path have been just one path. It have not been several, even though I developed certain techniques or did certain things on certain paths. I mean, not on certain paths, but on certain, that was kind of called something else or something. But my personal path is just the same. I've never had to like leave something, actually. It's just like my understanding as I see it, or insights have been widened. And at certain phases of my life, I've needed more of that piece. And then now I'm very active in the witchcraft of Wicca, and I love it. But I think maybe I wasn't ready before. I mean, I've been active in that, but on a very soft, in a very soft way still. So um, yeah, I like to dive into it more focused in learning and teaching as well. So as well as the yoga teachings. So so how do you feel about that? Do you like leave something? I mean, at times maybe I felt like that previously, but when I look at it now, it's just like various. I mean, you can get very dogmatic in. It doesn't matter if it helps you or if it helps anyone to think like that. That's fantastic. But personally, I feel. Oh, actually, now I look at my mirror. Also, I have a like a head, you could say, no, but like a out of wood. I think that is also symbolizing Amitabha's head that I was have hanged right in front of my mirror close by, as well as another tiny Kuan Yin statue, as well as a huge black Buddha sitting. I have Buddhists everywhere actually when I look around, and I love it. At one point, I just wanted peace of mind. Yeah, I totally know that, and that was when I was trying to resolve a lot of things in my life, and it was too hectic. I just wanted to relax, and yeah, that was when I was also into Zen, and that was so amazing and so healing for me at that time. It really made me steady inside. And sometimes I wish I would go back to that continuous practice, even though I do other things. I've just not gotten there yet. Again, I still do, because it's very, very healing for, yeah, even the physical systems, but not the least the mind is very good. Yeah. So, so have you been dropping the other stuff and not now just do this for a while, or? And how is love going? I didn't answer that. Don't think you did. I'm curious about that though. Did she come back or what happened? You should meet. Last thing I know is that you would meet, and then I don't know anything else. So, but you can absolutely get both confused, but also, I mean, I get inspired by all these. I mean, I wanted to come to this world, I'm sure, to be drawn into it, and I mean, I can go to excess easily, but I feel like I want to dig my hands into the earth. I want to smell and taste, and you know, I'm like a very physical or sensual person in that sense, I could say. I really want to experience it deeply, and um, I think when I was into that, I just didn't have the energy. When I was more only focused into that, then I didn't have the energy to even take in those expression impressions. I was like so tired. Let's see. Exactly. I had been really pushing magic, Wicca stuff, which I love to. But in my experience, spells and stuff are temporary solutions. We are not together now, but friends. Oh, good, you're friends though. That's fascinating. I mean, not fascinating, but yeah, sometimes it is though. But I mean, also, who knows? Whatever happens. But yeah, that's good though. Um, yeah, and you can get lost in whatever you do. I mean, I just recently saw this. I don't know if I should talk about that, but I do. I do. The Wicker Man. Have you seen it? And I mean, to me, I think because I've touched on to. I mean, I haven't even touched on. I've been when I was younger, I was really kind of in love, you could say, in Christianity also, but I never found a congregation or a situation with other people that I felt uh, did match. Kind of, I just couldn't find myself at home in those situations. But there was so much good stuff there that I found, and also with the nuns when I lived in Vadstena, uh, and so on. There have been so many awesome things, and also communication and all kinds of good things that I experienced during my uh, when I interpreted the spiritual path more so through that lens, you could say. But I think that to me, since I don't get stuck in those things, even Buddhist things or whatever, even Wiccan things, although that is a religion, I don't feel a sense of need to defend that. I just feel like if you are a Wiccan, or if you are a Christian, or if you are a Buddhist, whatever, Muslim, whatever, or even just atheist or whatnot, um, um, if you behave in a very bad way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can try to understand people, where they come from, and what their um, why, like, in a way sometimes, but it's not better to be a crappy Wiccan than to be a crappy Christian. It's like the same shit, kind of, in my mind. So, I mean, crappy in the way that you treat others bad. Like, what do you think of this new age concept of Christ consciousness, which has been adopted by many modern I think she said bullshit practitioners. Buddhi. Is it though? Modern Buddhist practitioners, aren't they just New Age then? I don't know, but I can't say that everything with New Age is bad, even, because that's also a filter. I mean, they come through some, if you then call it light, but if you with light mean like insights and so on. So what do I think about that? I have been pretty negative towards it, because I believe, I mean, the gods and the goddesses and so on, in to me, they are as real as you are. You are just online now, but still, I assume you're real and not like a bot. Anyway, so I I feel that they are individual entities, as we are, although one in one sense, like. But I think when you do like that, you kind of you how can I even express this? I'm less negative towards it now, though. I can say that, because I believe there is also those who say that actually, um, Christ, if ever, whomever he was or whatever, I think of it as yeah, you're real. I think of it as you know, the whole story from the beginning about like Mithras, that also had three wise men following a star to find him, you know, the sun god. So it's quite clear, but many don't even realize that. But what do I think about that now? I think that, well, what I've heard recently is that many think that, many, I don't know even if it's many, but that he was taught by Buddhists, that the Christ person or the Jesus person. But the whole consciousness, yeah, I can um, kind of grasp that, though, in one way or another. I mean, I believe that our naming things in certain ways doesn't really matter all that much. What matters is um, what matters is our perception of things, really. So, as he also did, if you talk about Christ, then, like, he wasn't really uh, positive towards those high up in church and so on. They used the words, but they were like unconscious, sort of, not unconscious, but they were like, yeah, they have mean intent maybe, and also were just, it was like an ego consciousness rather. And so um yeah, I think it helps to include and embrace, and instead of being threatened by other ways of, I mean, others' descriptions of the divine. Yeah, maybe I could say it like that. But also, I think it becomes very, very vague. I hate I have said it many times. I don't hate it, but yeah, maybe I do. This whole about everyone talks about archetypes, and to me, as I said, these entities, to me, they are entities, and they are very real, although not in our physical uh, form. And so it, sometimes you make it very vague when you talk about, when you just make it as a you put everything in the same um, bowl, or how can I say? Yeah. In Oslo last week, there was a tent by Muslims for Peace giving out free waffles and cocoa without any talk of religion. Next to them was a man screaming a mic about Bible and eternal damnation. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but people need to see themselves in the mirror, and I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I always am able to do that very well. I'm probably I suck at that, I'm sure, at many times, but at least I try. And yeah, it's really easy to be blind to your own perspective. I mean that's natural also. But if you have a view, and it could be politics, it could be about those vaccines, it could be about anything, you know, anything really. um, and and you can become really a bully if you only defend your own uh, the framework you see the world through, and don't understand that that doesn't really matter. I mean, what kind of words like, or uh, good Muslims, bad Christians, scaring kids, doing Christmas shopping. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what can I say? And I do also think that when people, I mean, that sometimes it's just about control. It's about, and control also many times is about fear. Sometimes it's about power over others, but many times it is about fear, especially like foot soldiers, if you say. And yeah, it can also be a front sometimes, even the sweetness, as well as, you know, what I was thinking about when I was myself sort of a Christian. In some sense, I might be still, but uh, it depends. Not in other person's view, I would assume, but whomever cares. But you know, as I said, I haven't had the need to leave really anything. It's just like that have been incorporated in my broader view on things, or deeper understanding, or so on. But when it comes to Christianity, when I was into that, I was like, what was I, 17 maybe? I was like, it was those years. I was like all in. I can't do things pretty uh, like lukewarm, as they say. Others around me was not like that, and I kind of wanted to just not have anything, just have a pair of jeans, maybe two could be good, but not own anything, and just like spread these things. And uh, what I didn't understand with the Christians that I met, other Christians at the time, I actually got to my senses, let's say, if you say. But I was surprised then that people try to like put a lid on me, because that came from love. I didn't want to hurt anyone, or like scare anyone or anything, but I wondered why I mean, if you think that people would really eternally go to hell, kind of, then you should be really, really invested in helping them not to. I mean, it's more surprising that not everyone believing that, screaming that around the town. They are just living their lives and let those go to hell that goes. Like, I don't know. But I'm not saying it's a good thing. Absolutely not. I think it's just, I mean, it's scare tactics, and it comes from a place of fear in them or in their beliefs, their belief systems. But which is nuts in a way. But at the same time, it's even more strange to believe it and not even be especially bothered. Like, how strange is that in itself? So, yeah. Yeah. It's difficult though, but I think it comes down to individuals. I mean, and still all these, I mean, it's good that in Sweden that the church and the state is separated, at least. And I mean, obviously the root or the whatever you base your beliefs on will have an impact, and you should be able to criticize or question it or so on. But uh, at the end of the day, it depends on who we ourselves are, how conscious we are, let's say, or how aware we are, rather. And there I think Buddhism have a lot to um, give, because they are very logical as well. We don't have to like believe in something. We can actually understand certain things, and through experiences also when it comes to meditation and so on, but also logically, like through discussions and so on. It's not it's not that we aren't allowed to question things, but there are also dogmatic things there. But let's see. I reply, if you think I'm a sinner, pray for me. Yeah, yeah. I just these days, every Christmas now, since or New Year's actually, since the Corona, I think maybe not every, but you get this letter from Jehovah's Witnesses, and yeah, sometimes I think about confronting them again, but I did very much so when I was like, could have been 24 or something. Uh, I order all these. I was so against all kind of sect things, because I knew people who was drawn into different kinds of, and so I tried to learn about it to know how to deal with people I knew and loved, how to like do that. And then I ordered those Watchtower paper, magazine, or like pamphlets, or um, and it said that they should like um, pack their suitcase for Armageddon and so on. And if that doesn't happen, I don't know what year this was, but um, it's said in their own papers that if this won't happen this year, I mean this Christmas or whatever, then we are liars. And that was said in their own. I mean, that's just profit, a business. They profit on people's way to believe them. That's just, I mean, sometimes it comes from even those leaders, whomever, believe it. But in this case, it's just about money. I mean, they just fuck with people, and so I invited them when it came knocking on my door. I invited them because I wanted to discuss that, but they said that, oh, you have already chosen sides. So, and after that, they have never knocked on my door, but I still get those papers. Yeah. But yeah, but also there was one of those people that was drawn into that, who, after I can't say that I took it out of him, but at least I discussed and said what I saw. And after that, he went into like quite heavy addictions with heroin and stuff. So afterwards, I thought, why would I even take this out of him? Maybe that would have been a easier path for him to walk. Now he's a shaman of sorts, I think. But anyways, Yeah, I felt like, oh, should I even interfered? What if it just won't make it now or something? But uh, they come uh, they come to my house all the time. We discuss the Old Testament a lot, and they love it. They probably know they won't convert me, but they like the discussions. Oh yeah, yeah. But the problem for them with me was that I had their own papers that they could themselves, um, like you could order them so they could read it for themselves in their own, and that their own papers said that if this won't happen, which it didn't. This was like a couple years prior that these papers or Watchtower said that then we are liars, and they didn't want to hear that. So yeah, so they didn't want to discuss me. I always invited them, but they don't want to. Yeah, yeah. And today it was too cold. I think maybe usually they don't go around like that today, and that one maybe was some other someone selling things or something. But there was some young girl, sweet, that's and someone else that said, "Oh, hey, oh, can I or excuse me," like and I said, "No, I don't have time," because I was almost freezing my butt off or my fingers, and so I was just not. But I think maybe they were from that. Yeah, but there are so many much craziness in these fields and still goodness also. But everything, I mean, everything is exploited by certain people. I mean, everything can be used as, uh, yeah, can be used as, yeah, whatever. Like, so, so it's good to be skeptical. I love that. I love that people question things, but it's very not so smart to be very. It's one thing if you know certain things about things, then you can talk about that. But if you uh, just dismiss certain things, I mean, I understand those who dismiss what I do. I really would probably do that myself if I didn't have these experiences. But at the same time, I am curious even at those things that I dismiss, kind of, or rather not dismiss, but that I don't know enough about. I I am still curious about them, and I think maybe that's a good thing, or maybe not. But okay, I just quote obscure rabbinical text and such. Yeah, then they can keep going and maybe learn something. Yeah, I think also many dismiss them in a harsh way. I mean, they are lost. So, as I see it, and therefore, I wouldn't like. Yeah, I laugh, giggle a bit about it, but still, I don't laugh about it because there are many people that are very hurt. I know a few people that have been uh, like. Where their parents won't or siblings or anyone they grew up with even speak with them, and again that's so abusive, like just turn their back and not know them anymore because they aren't in that uh, I mean there is a lot of things going on that is really really bad, and also social control. I mean some people say that um I mean you aren't forced if someone won't take you in, like and physically force you to think certain things or say certain things or do certain things. But at the same time, social control can really be um, like uh, like you are like you can't choose, that you aren't allowed to, and that in itself, I think is very bad. I think that is super bad. um, but yeah, I can also understand. I can also understand in some. I mean, and when it comes to, I also heard some Muslims, by the way. Let's see, they don't know that stuff. Yeah, I understand that. Then I tried to teach them about the seven Mohite laws. I don't know what that is myself. Noahide, yeah, I don't know. And how the rabbis say this is the only way for Gentiles to serve God. Okay, I haven't a clue about that myself, but yeah, I understand the fun for you though to have. And maybe it also. wakens them up that even to be kind. I think that especially if you feel that people themselves are fooled, I don't think to mock people or be aggressive towards them it will help. I think that being kind, and like, sh- I mean, so that also those in very strict sect like cult like um, environments can understand that people actually are sweet out there, because usually they have the idea that they are uh, absolutely horrible. Like, I'm not saying it in a negative. No, I understand that. I understand that. I try to match their kindness. Yeah, and that is good, I think, for them too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, but I heard there was a documentary, a Swedish one, where they talked about. I don't really recognize. Sometimes I listen to so much, I have no clue where and who said what. But in this case, there was this Muslim woman that was so surprised that I'm not promoting anything right now. I'm just saying what they said in the. People get so upset and mad if you say something. Sometimes I feel, but anyways, she said, and I think that's interesting. I mean, I want to understand how other people think, even if I don't agree with them at all. But I want to understand because it comes from somewhere. They have some sort of logic or idea about why they choose or think what they do. And so she said that where they when the interviewer asked how she was married then to a man and didn't continue her education and work and so on, and she asked about that and about if he would have several wives, and they said that is not common nowadays, blah blah, blah something like that. But she said that she had a covered head, she wouldn't show her hair and or yeah, so on. She it was forbidden to show herself in other clothes, I don't know, something like that, or forbidden, but like, yeah. uh anyway, she said that she felt like we, like in Sweden, the women in Sweden were like treated like whores, and she didn't understand why we accepted to be treated so bad, because those men that they were married to, though, I mean, I'm not saying that whatever abuse would maybe occur or whatever in other ways also, I don't know. But she, anyway, her she was so surprised when we saw her as control and so on, when she still, those were married, even if she didn't know that man beforehand, or knew who he was or something. It doesn't matter, but, or it does matter, but yeah, in this story of sorts. Yeah, so that they just can come and go and use us and so on. And she didn't understand how we, from that perspective, could think that she was like put down. That man married her and took care of her, and like, all kinds of things that she saw it as. And I never even considered that. I mean, I never considered that before, that from her, or maybe some others also, I would assume, perspective, we are seen as being as women treated really really bad in the Western society, from that view. Yeah, anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I do know I want to be free and do make my own choice, and and so on, but I still, I think it's interesting that, and I can also understand why they think that way, it really, yeah, the way they do. So, and many times it's also cultural. It's not only, I mean, sometimes it's very much spiritual things that it have to do with, but many times it's just about um, some sort of regulate society kind of thing, and that in many cases, especially maybe in history and so on, and even now, I don't know, maybe that have been a good thing also. I mean, yeah, who knows. I try not to be what is the word? have too many prejudices. I do obviously have. Everyone does, I think, but religion and culture is so integrated in each other in some societies. Yeah, in our own as well. We are very, very, very. I realize that when I work with the medicine wheel, and even whomever I actually meet, whatever their faith or non-faith, let's say, is, I think that is quite evident for many of us who grew up in in these, let's say, Western or Scandinavia and so on. Yeah, but it's like we are so secular. So in Sweden, at least, I think so. I don't think we grasp onto like Christian ideas on the surface, but still we are very much um, sometimes, or actually oftentimes, I think that is underneath the surface, like our subconscious. We have those values. We take them on, kind of from society, even if we don't think so. And I do think we need to get rid of those because, I mean, those things about being driven out of the garden, being sinners, those kinds of things. Yeah. Whatever we mean by sinner, that's just missing the goal. And I would say I often miss that one. But yeah. But like, I mean, it's so clear that the mother, the goddess, was so threatening to for to the control, let's say. So she's like totally dismissed and still is seen as if she would be evil in many of those Abrahamic traditions, I would say. And I think we need to at least question that and look into how our own values are formed from that, and they are very much so. So, and that in itself molds the society. And yeah, so, but it's more stuck in us than we oftentimes, I think, believe. We have to work through them to let go of them. They won't like erase themselves, those kind of ideas. We have to see through them to not subconsciously be driven by them. So I think, yeah, she was made into a demon, and we are so scared of these things, the darkness. The I myself can be, no, not the darkness in itself, but it's so different. I mean, the those kinds of things that the goddess often in comparison represents, but they are also not that's like very they are like, as I said, to me, entities that can include all kinds of qualities as much as humans can do, whether we are female or male. But anyways, oftentimes, I mean, we consider even that as evil. It would be no balance in the world. It's like it's very clear that if there were no darkness, that would be very unbalanced. So, and we need it and we crave it if we don't have it. We need that very much for our balance. And yeah, all other things that she represents that are very powerful. So we kind of dismiss half of our own our connection with ourselves and our own potential and our own qualities. Yeah. And yeah, so on. And that is very hard. I mean, we you really have to take time and work through these things, because since they are there like automatically, those ideas, so many people are so scared of these kinds of things, or demons, and yeah, the way they're labeled. It's like we are brainwashed to submit to authority. Yeah, yeah. In many cases, not only like religiously. Yeah. And I just recently, there was a friend of mine who were in another country this other week, who saw this Saint Brigitta's, or like Bridget, like that goddess in from Ireland, and then I heard that she was actually, I mean, she was like considered a saint later, but then church even did sanctify her, if you say. They because she didn't exist as a person. It was like a story made to hide the goddess Bridget, or Bridget, as well as all these festivals or Sabbats. There have been other uh, things put onto them to make them fall into oblivion, or but to for us to forget about those, uh, or churches on places that already had, you know, church services, you could say, or spiritual or religious services, but in other ways. So I guess that have been the case in all history. That and it's good to go back to find the originals. Let's say, yeah. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, yeah, at least to question what's in front, what's, yeah, what we are served, to question that a bit. Maybe we can hear those old voices through that. Then I can see it easily, even if I go to church sometimes, because I enjoy sitting in those in that energy somehow. But I hear it differently. I like, I see through the veil of things that are there to hide something rather than reveal something. Yeah, I feel. At least that is my view. I'm not saying that is correct or the right way or anything, and I do not think that anyone do have that. I think that everyone should be allowed, and um, well, it shouldn't be a duty, but still, I think you should question. I think we are responsible to question things. Yeah, if we don't, we are also responsible for not doing so, and the consequences of that, because there will be consequences for everything. So yes, like when Northern Europe was Christianed, they built churches on, yeah, holy pagan Norse sites and put Christian messages to pagan holidays. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You say it more clearly. Good that you write things down. But also, people, I think maybe you said it. Someone also said, "Oh, that was the where they like have those sacrifices made and all that kind of things," and that may be true. But also, uh, the way it's portrayed is very much as something mean and bad. Then, but I mean, surely it was in reverence. I mean, it was like holy for those people, whatever their practice or services was. Uh, that we may not know a lot about those pre-Christian, or those, because they try to erase a lot, and they have succeeded in erasing a lot. Aside from that, much wasn't written down even at the time. So yeah. So, but yeah. Also, we got our indigenous roots and heritage stolen. Yeah, yeah, by the white Jesus. Yeah, that's so strange that people continue with that now. How strange is that even? I mean, even that. Why can't like people realize that he could not have been white? That's for sure. What is it? White Christ in Old Norse. Yeah, yeah. Here also white Christ, Vita Christ. Yeah. I mean, what is that kind of? But then again, people adopt in all kinds of ways. But it's very good to, yeah, to question, especially I think religion, because yeah, dogmatic religion. I think that's super dangerous, and I think nothing can scare anyone more, because that have to do with eternal damnation, as you said, or like it's not even that you will be condemned in this lifetime, or I mean, it's like the worst of the worst. Um, so you can control so much more if you make people believe certain things, and that is what have been done, and for that same reason, I'm sure. So yeah, yeah, he was Jewish. I know. But he also was very mad at those rabbis in the Jewish, what is that called? No, not mosque. That's not called churches. What is it called in Jewish? They're I don't know. Yeah, and Buddha wasn't Buddhist, and Muhammad wasn't Muslim. Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, he was pissed off on them for dealing gold and coins. Yeah, and also to being very uptight, or saying that they knew the truth. This was like trying to be better than others, instead of understanding and embracing, as someone also said, like the teachings of Christ, or Christ's teachings is quite different things. So yeah, yeah, among many other things. But so politics then, what are your thoughts? Do you have family in Israel? I'm just curious. If you don't want to go there, we won't. One thing that I react to, though, I will just say that, and I will stop if it's too. Uh, I mean, if it's too open wound or something. But I wonder why people make that like the same thing. Like Israel, I mean, people say that you are, what is it called now? What do you call it? Yeah, anti-Semitism. They call it if you are mad at Israel for their behaviors. Uh, I mean, the ones that rule there. But then again, why? Because there is not only Jews living in Israel. I wonder why people why people don't, or rather, why people always make that same. Um, why people speak like that? Because it's like also very, very um, uh, not forbidden. Yeah, forbidden to like question that. And I haven't questioned it myself before, not outspoken like this. But I wonder, because it's like when they talk about it on the news and everywhere, why wouldn't people uh, even question that? Why wouldn't because you don't say that about anything else. Like if people would attack Sweden or anything, or I mean, in some country, you wouldn't say like you anti-Christians, like I assume. But no, I have no connection to Israel. Okay, my great grandfather married outside of Judaism and broke the bloodline. Yeah, some people use Israel as an excuse to talk shit about Jews. Yeah, but also when you talk about the war and all things that have been going on, um, yeah, I understand if that is a specific thing that people do, and then you have to address that thing that these people use that like. But it's like there is no distinction. People seem to not understand that this is not only a place where Jews live. There are others who live there. Like so. Anyways, yeah, never mind. But all these things that are not clear with when it comes to words, I think can become very messy when it comes to also understanding things that goes on. I think it's very important at least also question those kinds of things. And it bothers me that, I mean, if someone talk about it, whomever, then they can do that. But I mean, when also I've heard that many times on the news and so on, and that bothers me. Why don't they make a distinction or difference between those things, that they are different things though? Let's see. There are Arabs, Sumerians, Orthodox Christians, and so on also. Yeah, I know. That's why it seems so strange to me. But yeah, anyways, I hope everyone finds some peace, and I also can realize that, I mean, if you just go to yourself, how like murderous you can become. No, but I mean, like, if people would have hurt people around me from whatever side that would be, yeah, I think I wouldn't be the one uh, just being forgiving. I would hope I would. I think there is no solution in just this, the whole thing, and for an eye will make the whole world blind thing. But I think I would go for the throat. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. I mean, it's easy to, even there, it's easy to condemn, but when you're not in their position, well, what can you really? You can try to understand it, but yeah, 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 I hope, whatever. Yeah, I hope people wouldn't have to suffer, and for those kinds of reasons, also, I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I won't go there further, still myself, but yeah. But also, I don't really understand this whole why people hate Jews. I don't know what the why. I mean, that seems really insane. Obviously, I mean, that would be insane in my world. Whomever, if you took a group of people and you just hated them, I mean, what? Why do you do that? Like, I mean, you have to understand that in a whole group of people there will be all kinds of variations of people. So I don't get it at all. But yeah, obviously, and almost everyone in. I mean, there have been those killed in each side there, but on in Palestine there is almost. I mean, I don't know the numbers now, but there were many of those who live there are kids. So yeah, yeah, horrible. It's so horrible, so you can't like take it in. Honestly, it almost. I mean, you should probably. I have talked about this before, but this is so extreme, and this maybe talks more about how extreme I am, as I talked about with this time of my life when I thought about just spreading this uh, happy uh, news about yeah, whatever, and just doing that for my whole life and nothing else. Like, also when I think about these kinds of things that goes on in the world, sometimes I talked about this before too, but sometimes I think we are ourselves put in sort of a concentration camp, and some of us, like, they were playing sports, having cinemas, and just living the good life, some of those guards, and meanwhile every other horrible thing was going on. And since the world is so close by now, we are aware of things, we know things that happens. Sometimes I feel it's so easy to judge, well, what happened, like, far far ago or far away, but I think we are put in this sort of the same position, and we still close our eyes, like, I mean, if we didn't know. But also I believe that there are other forces that trigger us to focus on certain things. That's kind of obvious when it comes to the news and so. When we get the same news all the time and when nothing is questioned, that's scary. When you don't have the some opposite side asking questions or showing, for example, when it comes to these vaccines and things. My dad's, I think maybe they are together now. But anyway, former woman, she hope he doesn't get mad when I said it. He doesn't know that I know, I think. Anyway, when after her second shot, she got like blind. And there are many things that, I mean, usually when it have been something else going on that is talked about, or written about or so on. And I think there have been very much a lid on this, and that scares me when it comes to anything, honestly. But yeah, so it's good to not react to everything we hear also or see. And I try to just not see news and stuff most of the time. But but it hurts me very much. So yeah, when I do, or when I take in some things, I mean the suffering that goes on. But yeah, I think that is a way to make us look in a different direction sometimes, and not to see be so involved in that. And we are so, all of us, I think, we are so we want so much to be included, so that if everyone thinks something is bad or something is good, then we are like, we get that pat on the back, and we're yeah, in whatever direction. Sometimes that is more uh, I mean, we're more driven with that, or by that, than actually thinking a few steps further and wonder, I wonder a little bit more. So hate, elitism, and war is just stupid. Yeah, and I don't question that, because that is obviously bad. But then again, I mean, it would be awesome if war could be avoided, if we were so evolved humans. But also I wonder about that sometimes, that what kind of freedom would we have? I mean, there have been someone defending their, let's say, territories, or yeah, even our homes. We lock the doors, like I mean, most of us. And yeah, so yeah, I'm a little bit torn when it comes to that. I feel appreciative to those who have defended my freedom, the freedom that I have, and I feel that I am also responsible somehow to myself defend it for those who come after, or those around, if I am able to understand that much, and how to even do that in the best way possible. So and I don't mean violently, I don't mean that. I think if possible, information and understanding, and going from ignorance to like more wisdom would be awesome. But I also think people are so stuck in their phones and in all things that we we are very sidetracked, and we could be so easily fooled. I mean, and we are, many of us are. Hey, my little kitty baby. Hey. So yeah, but sometimes that is also, it is easy to be kind of pacifist, or I mean, not easy, that's not easy to be, but it's easy to think that that would be a good idea. But then again, how would that look like? Yeah, if everyone, it's like if there are like bullies or mafia. I don't mean that in the sense of those who are called that all the time, but that could be even politicians. That can many times be high up. Uh, I mean, more high up in society, let's say, as I think of it. And if we don't react to that, uh, if we allow oppression, then I think we are somehow responsible to stop that. And if we can't help people to see that which is going on and so on, maybe there is need for a revolution. Hopefully not violently, but oftentimes that have been that have been what have been going on in the past, at least. And it's difficult now if everything is controlled digitally and so on. and everyone have a digital passport and electrical car, and and smart homes, smart cities. Wow, we are so screwed, and I don't understand why we don't understand that. Hate to leave mid conversation, but my old father, Nisegor said, just going to run to the gas station to buy some for him. You can wait if you want, but if not, okay. I'm glad you checked in though. I will sit here and see if someone else needs some cards, and maybe you come back before I go then. Yeah, I will sit here at least for some 20 minutes more or something. Let's see. Bye for now then. Thank you for being here, and thank you for chatting. And as I said before, I think, and I hope that is, at least that is my intent, to be open to change my mind. But sometimes it is also the thing that you have checked into things pretty much, and that is why you have changed your mind already. So I mean, yeah, I try to be open, but sometimes you have your opinion built on questioning the things you thought before, and that's why you think what you do. But yeah, so yeah, I do think that yeah, maybe later. Take care, sweetheart. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I should pull some cards for someone who have the energy to sit here. And I know I provoke, but also I feel like that is one of the things that really bothers me also about this censorship, that it's really not allowed to. I understand those who really don't understand what I talk about sometimes, because I have still checked into those who many times are on other platforms, because many things have been censorized. Is that even the right word? But yeah, by fact checkers controlled by those who lie, like that they are owned by those who have those lies now. But anyways, yeah, yeah. Sometimes we think the villain is, or sometimes we think that the one we think is the villain, but it's truly absolutely not. Maybe it's someone, if we knew better, we would understand that. Or oftentimes I think that is the case. But also it makes me a little bit sad when I mean, I understand that although I am open here and probably people would dislike me and I'm fine with that, but also open if someone wants to have a discussion. Not like, I have discussed a lot of things with a lot of people, but if you go there, if you go down to like specific numbers, this and that, like when it's all about the arguments, it's nothing about the understanding, then there is no way that can lead anywhere. Anyway, one can go on like that for forever actually, and that won't like lead anywhere. So those discussions I used to drop out of, but yeah, still I think just naturally, even before I heard, I'm not saying that I have always been aware. It have taken so some time sometimes to realize certain things or to question certain things, because someone else made me look at that, like uh, with questioning it themselves. But uh, yeah, I still feel like even from the beginning, all this digitalization, all this, when everything is like computerized, let's say, or that's the same thing, right? Anyways, I I really, I can easily see how that makes us way more vulnerable, and even not having access to those basic knowledges of sorts, like how to grow crop. When they, here in Sweden, it's forbidden to keep a seed from one year to the next. Why is that? I mean, that's super weird in itself, and we should question that. I mean, people do that anyhow, but how can that be not unlawful? How can that be not okay? Like, I think those basic things for survival and so on is something that we should really, really care for, and not only like, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's quite clear how vulnerable our societies are with that, and yeah, and with that comes, I mean, yeah, there's so many discussions about that, but many say that if I don't have something to hide, I don't care, and I use only cash. I've used like is it 2 times, I think, just when I get a new card I have to like um, start it with buying something on a store or something. I think you can do it differently, but still, yeah. So that way I've done it like once or something. And also when my mom turned 70, her brother wanted me to buy something to her where you only could use the card, so I kind of had to do it. But otherwise I only use cash always. So um I mean, when I buy stuff, when I pay my bills and so on, it's not, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. And I don't say that to be like I'm so good doing that, but I see the dangers of everything being controlled. There are also benefits when it comes to, let's say, having cameras, or I mean, but at least we should have the discussions. How much is what would happen? I mean, it's clear when we look back that sometimes the ones who are in control, like rule things, may not have good intents. Maybe they don't even now, but if we imagine it worse, like we should at least prevent that we are so controlled so we can't uh, stand up against it, you know. So I mean, if we are stripped of all our power, what can we do? And is that really what we want for our future, for the future generations? And when it comes to also this the Andean medicine wheel tradition that I work in, we also, I mean, some people may think that, well, okay, I live here now and then whatever. Maybe we don't always think about the seventh generation from now. But thing is, in that tradition, we think about ourselves coming back, actually, if we want to be ego, then instead of just thinking about all those coming generations, um, we will come back ourselves. And hey, what have we done? I mean, we will be sort of pissed at ourselves when we realize that we allowed that to happen, to make ourselves prisoners. Like, that's not a good thing. Yeah. And just, I mean, just because everyone does this, and then it shouldn't be dangerous. Like, we have to be able to think further than that, and we don't have to be part of some sort of group thinking this or that. And that is like, that's a way to dismiss people also. You always label someone like, uh, if I have an opinion about something that I have like made my informed opinion about something from where I stand now, but that can change. But then you suddenly put me into some sort of group thinking, which includes a lot of other things that I may think, which may not be true, you know. And sometimes that is true, but then you are kind of, uh, yeah, then you are kind of in a cult almost. Like, if there is a group thinking that is exactly the same all the time with each individual, well, that could maybe be a red flag, you know. But whatever that is, like, but I mean, you could actually listen to someone without um, pushing them together with whomever you think is crazy, like, or other opinions that you may not have and such. Yeah, and that happens all the time. Hey, yes, you can. What do you want to ask? Liz, I have some. I will see what deck. I will just take this psychic tarot by John Holland for you, if that's fine. because I need your guidance on something. Oh, do you? Let's see if I can help. Right. What is that then? And understand that I only read the cards now, not in a mediumship or psychic way. So you have the keys to the understanding of the cards still. Whether you feel drawn to, yeah. I have this deck then, yeah. I will shuffle it meanwhile I read what this is about. And I also think, I mean, I don't know if I really, if it's useful about this whole, oh, we get patience but reverse. So I think you may be very impatient, right? I've been compared to my cousin since childhood. Okay. Continue. What was I going to say about that? Not about that, but something else. What I can say about this card that just popped up, though, is that everything have to change. If you are treated like crap, let's say, for a long while, that will have to swing in the other direction. So you will be kind of rewarded, not to, I mean, but you will get probably more seen in a positive light than the other one further on in your life, because like life is like that. It's not like everyone is on top all the time. It swings. Yeah. So, and sometimes we can influence that by when we are on top, when we're feeling good and do good things. I mean, not do good things, but when we are, then we can like prevent the swing to oh no, I dropped so many cards. I have to change deck. I can't put them up. Like she always better thinks she's better than me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have to change deck because I dropped lots of cards on the floor and I don't even see what they are, so I will change deck again. Let's see now. Anyways, so now I will take the Tarot of Mystical Moments and pick up the cards later. But first of all, I got this patience card, and that is important because the energies is in the universal law energies is in your favor then, if that have been the case. And you don't have to see yourself in that light, right? So you don't have to compete with anyone. That's your choice, So whomever compare you to your cousin as if she's better, you don't have to value their opinion. That's a choice. Maybe you need to boost yourself with like looking yourself in the mirror. Now I drop cards from this. What's up here? Oh my. So I can't use that deck. They are just flying around the cards that have never happened before. So okay, I will use the Wizard Tarot. I will try not to drop cards. God. So maybe this is what the deck needed to come forth for you. But yeah. You don't need to. You are responsible for what you think. It has been since childhood, but it doesn't happen now because I told them to stop long time ago. Yeah, that's good. That's good that you put your foot down. And also you can do like shamanic ceremonies, like small things that like like in a match, you can blow in that thing that you want to get rid of, and then lit the match and let it burn, like put it into something that won't be where it can burn without danger, like so small things to make it like loosen its grip from your reptile brain. That's actually very efficient, although it sounds too simple, because sometimes we can't think ourselves out of whatever we get back to or stay stuck in. Those pathways or whatever need something else to be changed, and maybe we need to do that several times. It can be other ceremonies, of course, but whenever I'm around my family or relatives, I still feel like I'm compared to her. It's like a childhood thing, I guess. Yeah, and maybe you are. Maybe they do. I mean, it seems like they do then. But why is that important to you? I mean, I understand why. It's not that I'm trying to be like mean here. But whenever I'm around, yeah, you said that already. I mean, what needs to happen, I think, as my advice then, or guidance, and you can dismiss it for sure, is that you maybe need to look yourself in the mirror and like see your talk to yourself, say to yourself all your strengths, I mean all yourself, and accept all of yourself and love all yourself, but also become aware of how beautiful and strong and awesome you are uniquely, and that you have the potential to everything. So that you stop like making others value of you or evaluation of you the truth, because we will always be their kind of victim to their opinions then, and that is dangerous in a way. We adjust then to be accepted, or you know um that's the point. I don't want to feel jealous or in that way. Yeah, but what are the things you are jealous at then? How would you want to be? You can be whatever you want, you know that, right? I think you look down on yourself, I mean, apparently also connected to what have been, but I mean, it's not like you are limited as a soul or spirit. You can be anything you want to be. The only thing that stops you is your own thoughts about yourself. You know, when it comes to sports, for example, when it comes to those jumping high, let's say, when someone have reached a certain height of how high you can jump, then others start to suddenly be able to do that because they are not limited by their thoughts, you know. We think that we are so limited. We think that we only are this certain idea of a person that we may not feel comfortable being. I mean, yeah, what happened? So yeah, what is it? Write what you want. I mean, not compared to her, but I mean, what you are jealous about. What would you want? It's nothing wrong also, by the way, to be jealous or have those feelings. They point to something. They talk about something that you need to see, obviously, but they are not always truthful. I mean, you are meant to be you, but you are more than you think you are. That's the thing. You are not limited to how you are or what you are now. You can be anything you want. Jesus, have Jesus returned? Oh my. Like the consciousness, yeah. In that sense, I do believe in this Christ consciousness. If anything returns, I don't think he will like come in a cloud, like, or I think it's our consciousness that we will raise, like, yeah. So Liz, okay, well, I should pull some more cards for you, Liz, though. But write what you are jealous at her for. What is it that she have, you think, that you do not have? Or what else you would want to be that you aren't, like, even if you don't mention her then. I will see. I will pick like I will see what comes up for you. I will pick like 3 cards just to see if I understand this whole situation better. First I have 7 of Wands, and then I have Page of Wands, and then the Star. So yeah, I think you need to know yourself better. I think you need to get to know yourself way better. Maybe also look into astrology or so on, and get more involved in yourself and understanding who you are and your qualities and your challenges and so on, because then you won't have time really to compare with others too much. But the 7 of Wands is like, you also, I think, I mean, sometimes it's just, oftentimes it's like this, that your strength make people want to pull you down. Let's say like this: if you were very, very weak, or if you, I mean, these are just definite. I mean, that whomever that would be would also be unique and wonderful and everything. But if we think about someone who would be limited in many, many ways, no one would try to put them down. Yeah, I mean, there are bullies, obviously, that are just crap people, and avoid them. Even if it's family, we need to avoid them as much as possible. Possible if they try to really bring us down. If they are, uh, if they are like scarred, let's say in that way, that they are behave that stupidly. But I mean, at the same time, usually why people try to do that is because of someone else's strength. So probably if they do like this, if it's not something you just um, sense, let's say, because you are maybe self-conscious and believe other things than people mean, but I mean, um, I think it's your strength. It's that they cannot really pull you down. It's like you have more than them in some case that really bugs them, and therefore they do this. I feel in the cards. I mean, with this 7 of Wands. That's it. I think it comes from my childhood where she has gotten everything. Being compared to her, she does everything better and stuff. Lost my best friend to her. Yeah, but I mean, why do you think they compare? And what kind of things are it? Is it not just like that randomly, like say specifics, like in what ways are you not as good as, or what is it? Like grades, yeah? Something else? All grades? Or because what I see here is 7 of Wands, and that is someone that is on the top. And I think that is, it could be her, obviously, it could represent her, but I feel like that is you. It feels like you are better somehow in many ways, or at least some, which make them not reach you really. My parents were like, she gets better grades. Yeah. And maybe actually what this 7 of Wands says is like that they couldn't control you, they couldn't push you, or because I'm sure you could have gotten as good grades as whomever, but that was not your main focus, you know? And it wouldn't, it's not always the most important thing. And then we have Page of Wands, which is about messages. I wonder about that. I think when I see these 3 cards, I think that you are intimidating rather for others, that they can't understand you fully. Like, so, and that in itself make you a threat, kind of, because usually you go a certain route, you do certain ways in a certain time, you know, you do good, you get good grades, you go that school, you get the work and man, children, whatever. And if you don't do that, then people really get a little bit intimidated. I feel like that. Yeah. My friends, they got close to her. My best friend, he got close to her. Yeah. But as I said from the beginning, as long as you keep your focus on her, this will be a problem. You need to turn away from that. You need to focus on you only, not on other people or their opinions. You need to like dive into understanding you only, is what I think. I may be wrong, but to be aware of yourselves, I mean. And if someone chooses someone else before you, that doesn't mean that they are better. It maybe mean that those both are as crappy as each other or something. And I felt left out at some point, so I just maintained a distance, and it became easier for me to focus. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, why not? There's a bunch of people in the world, but also sometimes we may like take it a certain way when it's not like actually meant that way, for some reason or another. But what is the real question you have here for the cards? I don't see that in the cards, that others see you like that. I see it as if they actually see you as very strong. So I don't see it in the cards. And I felt left out at some point, so I just, yeah, you said that. People are intimidated by people who challenge the norm. Yeah. So you're actually the stronger being. Yeah. At least that's what I pick up from the cards. And also, I guess the only weakness, if I would talk about that, is because I maintained a personality. Yeah. The only problem, I would say, from my perspective, which does not have to be thank you, magic. That's for you, say the man magic. Um, like is that you focus on them. You need to let go of that. You need to keep. I mean, you need to stop talking about that story, because that does not help you. And if you can't let go of that, you have to do some ceremonial stuff to let go, or maybe you have to talk about it a lot and read about it. I mean, no, write about it a lot and talk to someone about it a lot until you are ready to let it go. But it would benefit you to let it go already, because it doesn't really matter. People are small, people make a lot of mistakes, and we don't even know their aims really, or their intent with whatever they do. Oftentimes we may interpret it in a certain way, but it may be absolutely opposite. Like, we don't know for sure. And so to keep the focus on, I mean, obviously you have the right to feel sad about if you have been treated unfairly by your parents, and everyone would have felt sad about that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. So if you need to really, really dive into that and feel that, but still that's not where you are right now, and they are not judges of who you are. I mean, they are just humans as well, with limitations. So that doesn't mean that they have a right view on things, you know. Yeah. So I think that is what you need to do, kind of find a way to let these things go. And that could also include focusing a lot on yourself, to become more self-aware. And you have a lot of strengths, of course, everyone does. So yeah. And maybe take a more, yeah, as you did already, but a little bit distance to those who do that. But also we can be overly sensitive, or not overly sensitive. However sensitive we are I mean, in the right amount to compare to whatever it relates to, but it may not be accurate interpretation in the now. If you have scars from before, from something that happens, then maybe we interpret things that happen now in similar way, although that is not the case. So you really need to, yeah, somehow heal those wounds. And the question, when you interpret things like that in the now, when you meet people and so on, to not take it for granted that your interpretation of the situation is accurate. I'm not saying you should doubt yourself, but understand that these kind of trauma have also made you see things through a certain lens or a certain colored glass. So yeah, it hits me at some point or the other, just one of those days. But it have to be with it have to do with self-confidence, and you need to get stronger in your in the confidence in yourself. And I don't mean like compare yourself like that you are better than anyone whatever you do. It's about loving you fully just the way you are right now, and that can be like practiced. You can strengthen that by yourself, but that's a work. I mean, you have to work yourself towards that. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. Is there any specific question I can pull some more cards if you have another specific question? But I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not like, I hope you hear that I don't like blame you kind of for the situation. Yeah, I think you obviously you do. And we are often also, when we are in those stories and these kind of patterns, we it's a good thing that you want out of it, but oftentimes we are not aware that we keep feeding it. Our brains or our systems don't know that it's not continuously happening now. If we keep feeding the story, when you keep thinking about what happened, then your whole system keep believing that it happens now over and over and over again. And therefore, I mean, as I said, sometimes we need to go many, like, to clarify things for ourselves, and so on. We need to write about it, talk about it, and all things. But there comes a point also where that old story just harm us over and over again. We become our own like abusers, or like we put ourselves down with keeping that focus. Anything else, just distract yourself with singing, dancing, painting, or like whatever, just mantras, as he did Sediman Magic. Anything. I mean, yeah, it becomes that. Although we it's not our aim, but also Tina Turner, she had that Myoho Renge Kyo, and that strengthened her. That mantra made her so aware of her true strength, so she could leave Ike, who abused her and stuff. So just to not keep telling ourselves the same limited versions of who we are, or someone told us who we are, that in itself, because we have that core strength within, it's just that we can't see it or are aware of it all the time. So something like that. But if you have a specific question, I can pull a card, also an extra card. But I do think that you think that others see you differently than they do. I think that they see you as very strong, and that bugs them. And that is why they prefer to probably have you believe that you aren't as good, because that would kind of make you more humble, or easier to deal with, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I think. But I'm not doing this in a psychic way, so I don't know, but just my thoughts. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope it helps. I mean, and also, we can't compare. We are all unique. We have our path here, and as I believe, we have probably lived lifetimes before, and we come with different things to learn this time and whatnot. I mean, there is some reason, I believe, with those we meet and are in contact with, and so. But it's there is in no way we can compare ourselves to others. We have no, even your parents or whomever cannot see clearly. We cannot see ourselves clearly, and certainly not others. We don't have that position. None of us have that, to be able to like actually define other people. We can have our opinions, of course, but that doesn't say anything of it is true, though. So there is so much to an individual. Who are we to judge that? Like, we don't know, and they don't know for sure. They don't know. But as card says, they rather think you're strong, and that makes them uncomfortable. Like, it's something that they don't understand or can reach, or something, uh, which they want to, um, have. People want to label things or have things in boxes, clearly defined, and if they can't, that becomes a sort of an anxiety for them, I think. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes some people's opinions uh, naturally hits us harder, and we may question ourselves, but that still doesn't make them any more wise, or you know whatever they say, that may be just crap. And if it doesn't feel good for you, that is crap. Your soul knows that that is not right, and that's why you feel bad about it. because that's not who you are. And that's not how you should be treated. And you know that. And that's a good thing. People fear what they don't understand, what they can't conquer. Yeah. The theory of man. Is that so? Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, why didn't I get some claps? She thinks I'm not as good as you say to my magic. No, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about that. I know my worth. No, but actually, I mean, yeah, we all have certain stuff to work through, but to put others' opinions above our own, yeah, we all, I think every one of us need to work our way to understanding that can never be the truth. We know ourselves the best, and I've also, and sometimes we also don't know and see ourselves through some blind like muddy waters or whatever. But what was I going to say? Yeah, that let's see. You're both good. Yeah, good you said that. No, I'm just kidding. But what was I going to say? It was something about I'm gonna take some water. Now I remember. It was like many times in my life. I've been seeking advice, by the way, from a lot of people, and I have been telling the same stories over and over and over, and that's why I know that was not the right choice. Eventually, I can't say it was the wrong choice either, because I mean, I am where I am now. I'm happy, but I needed that probably in a way. But what I didn't realize is that I often listened to someone else's choice, and it was not like I wanted to not take responsibility myself, but I knew inside of myself that this won't work, and that still I followed someone else's advice. And it's the same thing with everything. We know who we are, we know what we want, we know when we are not treated right, and sometimes we need to, if we have been taught a certain patterns from we were children, we need to kind of unlock that and see it. I mean, get help sometimes to see it from a different angle, but at the same time, we do know our core and our soul is so strong. If we listen to it, we cannot go wrong. Like, yeah. What you guys are talking about is the story of my adult life, okay? It's just now that I have sort of gotten back on the right track. Oh, awesome, Sademan Magic. Liz, I'm glad, Sademan. It takes a while. Glad you're there. Yeah, I'm glad you both are there. And I mean, yeah. So that is another thing. Even if I give certain advice here, for example, or he, whomever, I mean, you still do have those answers inside. I mentioned Dalai Lama before. I've mentioned that many times in my previous videos, long time back in other channels, but about if I just could add a drop to your ocean of wisdom, is like an expression uh, they had. And I use that sometimes just to remind myself also to think that I don't have every answer in the world, for everyone else at least. And that's actually the truth. You do know. It's like the more we listen outwards, the less we are available to hear what we truly know. Sometimes we need it confirmed, and I think that is what the cards do many times. They confirm our what we truly actually see. They are like the mirror of the soul. They are called sometimes, and I mean we do know that, and then we get strengthened to trust ourselves and our intuition because we get that like a mirror, but a mirror back to us. But we do know. You do have all the answers and all the strength you need. You just need to trust it. That's the thing. And you can add to it by telling yourself all the things that you wanted them to tell you. Tell it to your mirror. I mean, mirror work is very efficient because it's like enhanced than if you just sit and say to yourself. And when your eyes start to sparkle, when you look into your eyes, when you say things, and they say that is when the message have reached the soul. So you know what you wanted to hear from others. And oh, you are gone. But anyways, um, whomever listened to this, then, yeah, whatever, say that to yourself. You know, your soul knows. Mm? So yeah, I've been here for over 2 hours now. I'm kind of warm. Maybe I should go. Do you want some card, Sademan Magic? Is it you who are still here? Like, yeah, you're worth it. Yeah, and you are worth everything. Also, do you want a card before I go? I think I have to. I've been healing quite a lot every hour now, and I should go back to that. I think to someone. So, sure, if you have the capacity. Yes, I do. I have all the capacity there is. Wait a second. Capacity. All right, let's see. Now, say them and Maddie. I will pull a card. So if I drop, otherwise I drop them all over the floor. So let's see. Here is a card for you. Oh, the Fool. It doesn't say the Fool actually in this deck, but I wanted to say that for fun. It's like the Initiate, it's called in the Wizard Tarot. And this is, yeah, isn't that cool? Someone starting a new journey, and you just started with this. Oh, him, him the Fool. Yeah, yeah. Again, no, but I think about this Mahayana Buddhism and all that. I mean, it's a new journey. You are just embarking on it, starting on it, and that will open a whole new world for you. Yeah, I think that is fantastic, and it's also about an inner sense of purity in a way of heart and courage, and it's about also seeing things anew, like being awake in a different way. Because when we are just new, we don't have those set ideas about everything. We're like, as well as when we travel to somewhere else, we see things. We are like we soak it in like in a different way than when we are at home and usually see things. We sometimes are totally blind, you know. So this is a perfect card, and also it says that all possibilities is there for you. Everything is open. So that's fascinating. That's a brilliant card to get. But you're on a whole new journey now. Fantastic. It's like you have left something. You have um yeah, it's like you're born anew, like you could say. Now it goes into the Christian. No, but in a way it is. Yeah, a whole new life have opened up for you, or is about to. Yeah. Fantastic. So I don't know. Do you have a question also or something? That was like maybe what you needed, but and you know a lot about the Fool still. So I'm not meaning like that, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things you could say about it still, even more so. But I guess that is somehow that is like the best card you could ever get, because that is no limitations. That's totally unlimited. Everything is possible from that. It's like almost that when they talk about the um what is it called now? The space between thoughts, like this. It's like a word for it. I don't remember it now, but yeah. But anyways, the field of all possibilities. That you also get in touch with through probably through your meditations as well. Because we are unlimited. It's only our idea that we are limited. So actually I have the Fool on my keychain. Yeah. How symbolic also. Yeah. And you have all the keys, and you have all the locks as well. You are it. As they say. That whole I am, yeah. Anyways, yeah. You are the key master, aren't you? Yeah. So, yeah, everything is there for you. Everything you can You can choose anything, and that is like when we have all. I mean, life is open all the time. In one sense, we're wherever we are in these 22 arcanas, or in anywhere in life or in the deck, it's always the fool that is there. That's the one making this journey. But the fool card itself still means that you can be anywhere, do anything, and that is fabulous. But we can also choose. I mean, there is a warning there also. That we can jump off a cliff and hurt ourselves a bit. I mean, that's like a minor thing with the fool card, though. But it's like, since everything is possible, we can focus in on something that doesn't benefit us all that much. I mean, we may limit ourselves in what is possible, and yeah, so think big and think with a gracious love, and bravery. Yeah. It's sad, actually. It didn't say good witch. I don't believe in good or bad witches. I believe that people are what they are, and we all have everything in us. But it said, like, most of the time, it said beneath that. I just found that fun. Yeah. Mm. But I think I'm generally mean well, though. If I stay mindful, whatever happens next is not yet decided. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And the witchy thing, as I see it, one of the things with that is that I actually do decide it consciously. And I think we always decide it. Everyone does decide it, but most of us do it unconscious or subconsciously. I mean, yeah. But it's very calming to just be receptive. That is why I like dropped off or didn't use witchcraft too much, because it was more peaceful to just follow the flow, so to speak, and be receptive, just be and see what happens. Like, and I understand that. But meanwhile, we are also creators. I mean, we always create. It's unavoidable. But that is a good way to create, though. Yeah, and a very trusting and brave way also. Wave, no, but yeah. So yeah, so I think I should go now and go back to the whole healing that I was doing. And so, but I hope you check in soon again with me. I will. Maybe I should have a specific day time. I say that, but I never do. So no, never mind. Yeah, yeah. I will go, and you say that you heal, but actually they pull the energy. But actually I do. I use various techniques in that. Though. Yeah, there was someone who needed it very much now. So. And I have taken such a break. It was a boy here. By the way, if someone listens from Skellefteå or from this town, there is a boy that is 20 years old, who have been lost since 28th of November, and they can't. It was a snowstorm though, but they can't find his car or him, and that's just weird. The police have checked all the phone and everything, and they can't see why his phone was pinned, like in a place, yeah, somewhere pretty close to here still, but yeah, he's just lost, and they are so devastated and need help or want help from missing people and so on to find the car, so that maybe they can find the boy. But I mean, it's horrible. Where is he? It just can't happen that someone just went home from work and disappeared. I mean, where is he? And it was not used to. He wasn't. I mean, that had never happened before, like that he acted that way. So it didn't seem likely that he wanted to disappear. So I started to think about all kinds of things. There, he's abducted by the UFOs. No, but sorry, I didn't mean to kid about that. But I mean, yeah. I have been busy, so I haven't been doing a lot of mediumship. I would try to tune it in, but I think it's blocked for me, and it seemed to be blocked for many that I've tried, as well as even missing people, please everyone seem to be very confused about what have happened. Oh, I hope this gets resolved. Why are you laughing like that then? I can't wait. Uh, I mean, yeah, I do. I do. Now today I just answered a few that I've asked for before, but I took a break over Christmas and everything. And also I wanted to I wish that I could use this. I think I can though. I mean, not for this particular case because I haven't practiced, but I have previously practiced remote viewing and been great at it. So I know I have the capacity, but still, you also need to train these things or be active with them to be clear enough, you know. So, but yeah, I so I have a few, but now I started it over again. I took a break there without doing so much of that for some weeks now. You're always doing card readings with mediumship. It's like a mix of spice jam because I'm never doing. Oftentimes, I mean, I oftentimes don't do card readings with mediumship. No, the mediumship or even the psychic is something else entirely. So I can tune in and see things just without the cards. Obviously, it's just because it's easier and more relaxed. I mean, yeah, I need to focus much more and it drains more of the energy to tune into people, like, so therefore I use the cards, and I think that it seems like the information needed may be a little bit more vague, but it still comes across as people need it. And also it takes a little bit more time if I sit like this and tune in. That takes more time. I mean, I have to go down in a certain, at least light trance to pick up things. So, and then when I say it, I get up out of trance and then down. So it takes some time. Yeah. And someone asked me recently, actually, or told me, which I was surprised about. I think this person should know that, but there was some person asking me or said to me, well, when you do mediumship readings, you ask a lot of questions, don't you? And I said, no, I never ask questions. I mean, that wouldn't be mediumship readings. I mean, I do my readings generally. I do them sometimes, like face to face, but usually even then, I do them beforehand. I do them at a distance, write everything down, and then I read it for them. Also because that they can ask questions meanwhile and afterwards and pull cards and so on if they want to. If they want to, kind of, sometimes people are um, negative to something I see or question something that I've seen. And then I said, okay, but you can pull some cards about it if you want to, because then they sit there and can see the cards and understand what the card mean themselves. That confirms what I just said, like, and that have been the case all the time. It's not like that. It's not like that I see wrong. No, that sounded really cocky, but yeah. So I read it and then I give them everything I said. It's not that I, even when I do it at a distance, I don't. I do it disconnected from them because I don't want to do cold readings. I don't want to check their reactions to what I see. I want to just give it and then they can do whatever they want with it. But it used to be correct. So yeah. So that's how I work. And that is also how I check myself. I mean, I don't want to be a cold reader. I don't want to guess. I don't want to um uh I don't want to even boost people. I don't want to pat them on the back and say what they want to hear. And many people want that from a medium, or even those who pull cards. But I try to be kind, but I really don't. Um, that's not how I want to work. As long as I can do it that way, I know that I'm a good medium. If I have to, like, have their confirmation or like, ask questions and so on, then I don't feel like I am as good. So although I talk meanwhile and can say, when I read it to people, I can say like, do you understand this, or so on, but they still get everything that I've written down afterwards, so they see that I don't change things like meanwhile. So yeah, so yeah. But when it comes to the cards, it's like fun. I used to also, when I'm meet people, just go to coffee or something, I used to have the cards because it becomes like a deeper. I like to develop myself. I like to understand more, and also to speak honestly about what's really going on, and not like surface level, and not just, I don't know, gossip, something like that. So um, I feel it adds to the depth. I get bored quite easily if you just talk about the weather. I mean, that can be um, calming sometimes, but that's what I do when I do mediumship readings. I tune in. I get the information from whomever. Sometimes I don't know whom. I actually taught cold readings. Yeah, to my. I mean, I don't think even I would be good at that, because I don't really care how people react so much. A lot of performers use it to create the illusion of reading people's mind. Yeah, I personally use my intuition. Yeah, I understand. And I mean, yeah, that's probably easy. But since I want to, I mean, I feel like I'm hired by the spirits. I don't do this to impress people. I don't do this to like, um, yeah. And also some English mediums, they ask a lot of questions. I do that sometimes, but I mean, to the spirits. But usually I don't. I have said to some people to write down their questions before they meet me by themselves, like on a paper or something, because the spirits will know what their questions are, and if at the end they haven't gotten all those questions answered, then I can tune in again and see if I can pick up something about that. But sometimes I don't think that's meant to be. I mean, everything is not the best for us, and I think what benefits people right then and there is what will come through. So I usually don't ask. I just sit quietly and tune in and pick up whatever comes through, and usually it is also in words, so I know. I mean, it's exact kind of. Yeah, yeah, I'm genuine, but that doesn't mean that I am always on point, because sometimes when it comes to, no one is always, but when it comes to images and so on, that I also, or like, you can almost see things in like a film or so on. When I pick up those kind of things, I may interpret what I see in a different way than it was meant. I mean, then oftentimes I get corrected by the ones understanding what I saw. And when I interpret it in some certain way, and they say, no, it means like this, and that's clear to them. So yeah. Mm. So I try not to interpret too much. I mean, that's also in language symbols, and I, as much as cards are, they can reveal much more with one image than with a lot of words. So yeah, but yeah, I think I usually also understand the images, or I can like, I used to like ask over and over again, is this correct, is this correct, like the way I interpret it, like which my mentor Lena, she said, like, you don't have to do that, you can just go on. But I keep doing that because, yeah, I don't want to pick up wrong messages, but I'm sure I do sometimes, but usually not. So yeah, but also, yeah, as I said, I feel like, yeah, I want to help people, I want it to benefit them, but I feel that the ones that I feel responsible towards, as I said, when it comes to even the gods and goddesses and so, or whatever spirits, the spiritual realm, the unseen, they are real to me. They aren't like, I mean, I am responsible towards them. If they come to me to convey some message to someone, that's yeah, an honor, and it's also a responsibility that they give me, and I really want to not um, um change that message. I don't want to put my own twist on it, or I mean, I don't want to add to or take away from whatever I pick up, because I don't think I have um, that broad understanding that they usually do. Those who are on the other side, let's say, if it's guides or if it's ancestors or friend or whomever, you know. So yeah, that's what I do. But I should do it here. I have done it sometime here, but probably I should do it more. Haven't I done it for you, say the mad magic sometime? Tuned into something, I feel like as if I have done. Maybe to you also, Lisa. I don't remember. So yeah. But it's easier, of course, if I have, I mean, it's also about, I mean, it's also about focus. So the more, if I have an image of someone, I mean, a picture of their face or something, or if I have your specific name or something, I mean, your real name, then of course I can, like, let's say, target you. That doesn't sound good, but more than if I, yeah, I have, right? Was that wrong, or how, what it was it? I don't remember actually. I never remember. That's also another thing. When I do like psychic readings or mediumship readings or such, that is like when you're in a dream, kind of. Even if I write it down, I can sometimes recall when I do a reading for someone again after like a year or something or more, that when they remind me, I can maybe remember, but usually I don't have a clue what I've picked up beforehand. So yeah, so because it's like you don't remember dreams easily often. I mean, long time after or so on. And since I don't do a lot of readings, but somewhat frequently anyway. So what's 80% on point? That's awesome. That's like the best of the best who are, like, isn't it? Or at least that was the what resonated with you. Oh, okay, good. And I'm sure when I did that, that was like a tiny bit, because when I if I should do it like this, but now also I feel something with your heart. I pick up something with your heart. It's like a, I don't know what it is. Like a, I don't know, maybe some sort of stress, or it's like the something. But anyways, yeah, that's the good statistic. They used to say that about very brilliant mediums as myself. But now I get so pissed at myself also that I can't help find this boy. But I also think that I block it. One thing that I want to help so much, and that can emotionally block it. But also I'm a little bit afraid of what I could see, because I wouldn't want to give bad information. I wouldn't want to say something horrible to, I wouldn't say if I, even if I saw something very horrible, but I haven't seen, but uh, I really don't want to have to say that to his mom, for example. And so I think maybe I block it myself a bit. So yeah. But yeah, is that with your heart? Is that something correct? I feel like how it felt like was like someone pinching, almost like, uh I would assume this have to do with maybe not high blood pressure, but like a stress reaction that you sometimes feel with your heart. Is that true? Say to my magic. Can you feel that sometimes, like like a yeah? I don't know how to describe it in English. Like I can say it's in Swedish. You know Swedish. Yes, I've been stressing about something lately. Yeah, it's like that sticker till on you, if you understand. Like quickly, and then it's over. Like it's not like very harsh or something, but it's something there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but when I do the mediumship, yeah, exactly. But when I do the mediumship readings, then I sit for like, usually I do them for 30-45 minutes, when I just talk and say what I've gotten. When I do a whole, for you, I just picked up a few small things, so that's like not a whole reading. But then when uh, I sit by myself then for at least an hour before, but usually I do this the day before. So I also sleep before, because sometimes when you sleep deeply, then you pick up more. So I stay in touch with the energy of the person for maybe 2 days or something, and tune in. I don't want to mix people very close in between when I do readings also. but sometimes I do. But yeah, I don't want to happen to mixed energies, let's say. So if I have the opportunity and time, I would do that, like actually for 2 days at least. It's for at least 2 hours and tune into them, just to oftentimes just to be more correct, kind of. So yeah. Okay, yeah, much I speak. Shall I go now then, or I should go previously? But great to hear you again. I've missed you, so good to not see you exactly. But yeah, good you're here, and take care of your heart, whatever it is, and everything else. So shall we say bye bye for now? Yeah. Okay. We will talk soon again. I like to chat and check in here now and then, especially when you're here. So, oh, may the fourth. It's not the fourth. Yeah, it is. That's why. May the fourth be with you too, and with the fourth and everything good. Okay, we will talk another day then. Bye bye for now. Hej då.